What's going on, guys? Clap it up. You made it here. We're going to talk about how to find happiness. Subscribe to the channel. Give a like. And also a comment. It's something that you want to hear. Or just a general comment. So, a lot of times people chase happiness. They chase highs. That could also fall under addictions. And most importantly, most people are suffering and they're miserable. So someone could be a millionaire and have a bunch of money. In fact, some of the most miserable people are the richest people on this earth. They won't tell you that, nor will you probably hear about it till it's too late. So, externally, happiness can and will come and go. But happiness originates inside. Even when someone else makes you laugh or even happy, it's still infecting you, infectious, and going inside of you. Because that's where you feel it from, eventually. So all the external happiness, to some degree, is an illusion. That's not to say it can't cheer us up, help someone out better, let alone enjoy it. I think that's the main point, or one of the main points of our whole existence, is to enjoy life. Some people naturally enjoy most of their life. I enjoyed most of my life. A lot of it. So, a lot of people have negative thoughts and fears. To some degree, I can't relate to that because I've never had that extensively. I was always a cheerful and happy person. So, happiness is a feeling that comes from the inside. And it will always originate from there because that's where your being is. Our natural state is happiness, which is a feeling inside of you. It's outpouring of love, exuberance, And we could say, for basic terms, energy. People's own suffering, a lot of people's own suffering, even in do or die dramatic situations. See, you don't die. Your body dies. You can't die. So you're always on. Only your body can die. That is the joke. So, a lot of people create their own suffering in their mind. And that originates inside of them. Even in a do or die situation. And also a situation that might be suffering. Now again, if a person's energy gets depleted and they can't stay conscious, then yes, they will automatically receive suffering, though they can still rise above it at moments. They can't stay in that consciousness because they're too tired. So even if someone is getting tortured, which obviously you don't want that to happen, still inside, eventually you would let go because you will die. Because those body can only take so much tension. That's why it is physical. In certain situations, even in a war, now I know the people around may not be as happy, but to approach it with grace and happiness is the best thing you can do. But people are going to pick and choose what they want to do. I just wanted to get across the situation of people are creating their own suffering. And it seems to always jump to the extremes. So, even though those situations are extreme, we can talk about basic situations. The lights went out. You made a wrong turn. You had to sit in traffic for 5 minutes. It never ends. Only when you begin to describe it, it becomes a problem. So all your happiness originates within. In fact, being still is the greatest feeling. It may not be called happiness, but that's where it all comes from. And it's unexplainable, that feeling, but you can call it one word, as happiness. A lot of people are stuck on what they look like, appearance, thinking about a dire situation, which you can change it. In fact, anybody can always change their life. And they can definitely change their perspective about their life. The guy who never thinks he's going to get out of jail may not get out of jail. But the guy who's always thinking about getting out of jail or believes he can still escape jail, even he has the slightest chance of escaping. Which is kind of funny. But that goes with any situation. And so this happiness generates from inside. And so does most of your turmoils and dramas. Because you want to describe something, I'll touch on trauma because that some reason wants to come real quick. Trauma is people holding on to it, a situation that's not there anymore. People don't like to hear that. And it's because they think the situation can still happen again, which is valuable and valid. But will it surprise you if it happens again? If that trauma really is so deep in there, will it really surprise you again? How many times will it have to happen for it not to surprise you? Being surprised is not necessarily a good thing. Anything that overexcites the body to where you can't control it is not necessarily a good thing. Because being joyful and that energy inside, it is limitless, but it's also kind of gentle and calm. And more so, we can even say content. When you're content with everything around you, no matter what the situation is, and you can still change the dire situation, you can get any desire you want. But the problem is when you create the desire that you want, such as a female that you would want, and then you'll get her. And you also notice once the bodies touch that you will become, to some degree, depending on how deeply you're attached to that person and to the materials and world and people, you'll see that they'll become more a part of you in more ways than not. Another reason I'm saying that is because I was just adding a little bit extra onto that, but this video is about to end. When you get that girlfriend, maybe she generates happiness. Maybe you two are perfect together. But one day, one of you are going to end up leaving. And so does that mean all your happiness goes away? No, it doesn't. It's still in the same spot. And so be it. Even generating a happy thought in your mind, whatever that may be, same experience with the girlfriend, because it was a stimulation. And it may be more involved a little bit when a person, but still, it's still coming from inside. and that person, or sorry, that thought will generate the same thing as that person did. So have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel. Hopefully this redirected you and put you in the direction of where the happiness is coming from, which is inside. And if you think you feel like shit, ask why you feel like shit. Is it because I think I feel like shit? Or I'm actually feeling my body and it feels down-regulated. It seems like it's missing maybe a nutrient, maybe some sun, or maybe it's lacking someone else or something else somewhere else. So a lot of people's thoughts or their thinking makes them feel like shit. They're not actually in the essence of feeling. Because if you're in the essence of feeling, most of the time, you're going to feel ultimately good. Or there's going to be some sensation. Whereas you're thinking about the feeling, that's going to cause problems. Because you're not actually feeling it, you're thinking it. And thinking or feeling is the base of our reality. Thoughts are always next. So have a nice day. Thanks for tuning in.